know you're new at this, so I'm gonna volunteer to be your guide. Now look, if we get separated... Oh, Vendela, honey, I need to talk to you.
What? If we get separated, what?
Drinks.
Hey everyone, welcome to Rosexanadu. This is Diana, and in a minute I'm going to be joined by my friend Martin. We're going to have a really good conversation. So just a couple of things up top, just fun to say. Thank you so much for being here, and yeah, I'm so glad to have you here. And if you're just tuning in, we are watching Roseanne from the beginning, the TV show, in its first run, starting in 1988. And we're also just expanding the conversation from there. It's not really going to be beat by beat, it's kind of informal. So it's going to be a lot of fun because this show actually, even just from the first few episodes, really brings up a lot. And a lot of stuff like in the zeitgeist, culturally, and then just like in so many other realms too. Like, you know, they're talking about everything, and we get a lot into that in this episode. I do have to say, some of the audio on my end was not that great. I am still figuring out this like new mic and how to record with another person. So just bear with me, and then next time, I don't know if I'll have a guest the next episode, but the next time I do have a guest, I promise to have all that audio stuff figured out. But, you know, I basically cut out all the stuff that was just me, like you couldn't even hear me. So hopefully there's not too much of that left in here. And yeah, it's a good conversation. It's really fun. And there's so much that I want to talk about in addition to it, just like from what we ended up talking about and all of that. But I'll just like save it for next time, you know, either that Martin's on or just that I'm talking and everything comes up. So in this episode, they are really talking about, I mean, it's mostly about like this contest that Roseanne encourages Dan to enter, and then like they sort of co-create a song, and that part is like really magical. And so I thought that before Martin comes on, we'll just like listen to a clip where it's the end of the episode, so spoiler alert. But yeah, it's at the end of the episode, and they're going to just play the song for the kids because the kids hadn't even heard the song yet, which was cute. And you get to just see them and hear them being silly, and it's really cute because the kids are dancing, and also you can kind of hear DJ start to sing it with Dan, so that's really cute. I wonder, he must have remembered real quick because it didn't ruin the take, but that was fun. So yeah, this is a really good episode of Roseanne, and I hope that you guys enjoy this episode of Roseanadu, and yeah, enjoy this conversation with Martin, and I'll talk to you after.
How do you explain to people that your song wasn't good enough to win 2 tickets to the annual Lanford Tractor Pull?
You don't. You move out of state.
Montana's nice.
And I hear they have very little radio there.
Mom, Dad, we're really sorry you lost.
Well, we didn't really lose. I mean, the only people that really ever lose are people who never try. At least we tried.
Got crushed.
Oh, stop.
Well, we never got to hear your song. Yeah, why don't you sing it for us?
Dare you?
Well, shuckins, kids. Why not?
Gather round, youngins. Pa's gonna sing us a little ditty.
There's a river high in the mountains that's been flowing since who knows when. No one sure just how it started, but it's never gonna end. Our love is like that river flowing through all time. Heaven knows how I need you, but I'll never change my mind. Heaven knows how I love you, and I'll never change my mind.
And welcome, Martin, to Rosexanadu.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. We've already been talking for a bit, so
Yes.
hopefully we're nice and warmed up.
Yep. I think so.
But I'm really excited that you're here because I think that you're going to help bring the Xanadu side more in because I
Yep.
think that, yeah, anyone could do a rewatch podcast, right?
Yep.
Like,
That's true.
and they do. There's actually a rewatch podcast of Roseanne happening right now, but
Wow.
they're on like
I-
season 5, I think.
Oh God.
But
Wow.
yeah, I'm
And I
sure that
just
it's a
watched the
great show.
episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're on season 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're way ahead.
But I don't think that, they have a Xanadu side to theirs. So,
Probably not.
yeah.
There's probably nothing mythical about them at all.
Well, I already sort of have asked you this before, but for our listeners' sake, um, like what is your relationship to Roseanne? Like when did you watch it in your life? And like how much have you seen it?
So when did it come out? 80,
88.
89, 88? Okay.
October 88.
So 88, 89, we moved from Virginia to Colorado. So that's when we finally got cable, actually.
No
So yeah, we didn't have cable before. We had like a glitchy black and white TV or like a crappy color one that somebody stuck a magnet to, like one of the kids, and then like which ruins the pixels. And like my dad like finally had money because they didn't have 7 other kids to worry about. So we got a really nice TV and we got cable. And we were like, we have cable now, and we started watching like shows like Roseanne, or like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that. But
That was
Roseanne
cable?
was like a really good one. Pardon?
That was cable. Yeah.
Yeah, all this stuff was like cable, which like
Mm.
everybody else had, and I started watching Roseanne. I just liked it a lot. I remember the feeling of it and just the like kind of homey feel to it that just you could settle in, you could watch it, you could like kind of grow with the characters more or less. I don't know if there's really shows like that anymore, but you could
Right,
really just
exactly.
kind of
Everyone is plateaued and like they don't change at all. There's no character development or like story development. But I mean, there's like Parks and Recreation where that is like there are all those things, But that
right
is rare, like Roseanne.
differs quite a bit. Yeah, because
I don't
nowadays there's nothing like that. But when I was a kid, like we would and I was so I'd be 12, 13 around then and when it came out. And if it came out in 88, I wasn't watching it until like 89. That's when we got to Colorado from Virginia. So I started watching it and just like in the town I moved from like around the DC area to like a very small town in Colorado. It was total culture shock. But a lot of the people on the show were like people I knew there in this little town. And it's a town my parents had come from. So like that there was still family around and stuff, and they had grown up in this environment like that, It was kind of like I remember there being like a lot of like these like God, what's that pattern that like everybody like grunge would use? God, what is that called? The plaid, yeah, like the plaid, but like the plaid coats and stuff, but they all had like puffy plaid coats for like winter, and like it was kind of just pretty normal, like I said, just like a lot of like welders and electricians and farmers and stuff like that, and just kind of I knew all the people like that wore like the ball cap, the dad like had the ball cap and like a beer in his hand like all the time, and like just like my parents weren't like that at all. Like they just because I mean, even though they came from there, they just weren't like that. But it just had the sense of like an environment that I was already in, and it's very like,
Yeah.
I'm in the West, you're in the Midwest, so I would say like, but it's still like that, like in Colorado. I don't know if it is so much anymore, but like, kind of. But I remember like nobody smokes cigarettes anymore. Like everybody vapes, So like, but I remember like the dad having like a cigarette in his mouth roughly, or just being like, let's go to the bar and and there's things about Roseanne that's like that they do in small towns, like go bowling, like my grandfather was on a bowling league,
Yeah, we
and
just went bowling yesterday.
see, it's like a thing, and it's like, and it's enjoyable, and
don't
it's
do
like
it very
family around. Pardon?
We do not do it often.
No, but I mean, like, but they're
enough.
bowling lanes, and people like still go to that, and they take it kind of seriously, like a sport, quote unquote. Like,
Right.
just kind of, it's like, wow, man. I don't know like all the terminology and stuff, but it's like interesting to like, just go and throw some balls at pins, and it's just,
See how
it's
well
just
you
got
do.
yeah, but it's got like
how
a community environment to it, the whole, um, yeah, it's definitely like a community thing. You see everybody there. You see a lot of the same people. And I think Roseanne kind of had that same feeling, but it was like a syndicated show on television, and that's where I really kind of started to fall in love with it, because it's like you could see yourself in those people, but you could also see people you knew in the characters, like she was how old?
She must have been 29.
Wow, see? Yeah. See, my mom in the 90s was probably like 50s, in her 50s,
Whoa.
roughly. Right. So, like, I just saw my mom yesterday, and she's 87 years old. I'm 46. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
so,
crazy. Yeah,
right.
That's quite old.
It was.
Age-wise for her.
Mm-hmm. For raising kids. So, like, for your mom, but for like your mom, she's watching these shows, and it's kind of like, in a sense, defining her, and
You're blowing my mind right now.
right. So it's like defining her, and she's going through her trials and tribulations and stuff, like, as this stuff's being produced. And like, for me, that's like my oldest sister going through that kind of stuff, not my mother. So, not the person I'm living with is not like this. It's actually like my sibling is going through this same kind of era. Because my sister's probably your mother's age now. How old's your mother now? Like in her 60s, roughly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 63. She's just turned 60.
Yeah, so I think my oldest brother is probably 60, 64, somewhere around there, 63, 64. And my sister's 2 years after him. So yeah, she's probably like 61 or 2, somewhere around there. And so she was like the part that, like when we lived in Virginia, she was the part that was like, hey, let's watch an American Werewolf in London. It just came out on like VHS. And we were like, okay. And we watched it, she like introduced me to like Clan of the Cave Bear, which is probably like a book your mom would read, or something like that. But my mom wouldn't have read any of that or watched any of that. My mother was more like I Love Lucy, Carol Burnett, stuff like that. That was her fun, her sense of humor. So I got like, in a sense, I kind of got like a lot of humor from different generations, from the boomers, from whatever generation your mother is.
Maybe more. She's a boomer.
Like with who? My mom? No. I think
Or I
probably
mean,
watched
did
that
you
with my
watch?
sister. Yeah, we'd watch like some of that, but like we watched like when I was a kid, we watched um like Three's Company, Welcome Back Kotter, all these like 7 day shows that are just like kind of they're not they're not really there anymore. And then we're moving in, then you're moving in like the 80s and stuff like that. And you're getting these different shows, and that's where you're getting like late 80s, like Roseanne and stuff like that, right? I don't really remember like the sitcoms and stuff in the 80s per se, because, like I said, we didn't have cable, but we knew people with cable. They were a mystery. They lived on a magical island somewhere, and the Xanadu people. So the neighbors had cable. But so for me, it was like different in my family because, like, you know, because my mom's so old at that time. She's older at that time. Like, but my sister is coming up in that stuff. And like my cousins are coming up in that kind of stuff. And like my cousin that's on like Seinfeld, right? A Seinfeld episode. So, and they're seeing this humor and stuff, but my parents aren't into that. By then they're into like watching Fox News, like, and like we better watch the weather tonight so we'll know what our bones will feel like tomorrow. And, and, or just preparing for that kind of stuff. But they weren't watching like shows to make them laugh. Like, I don't really remember my dad like sitting around watching TV at all. Like, he's too busy. And, um, he's not, now he does, but he's 89. So of course he watches shows because there's nothing else to do. But I don't think he like relates to them at all. Not really. And so for my parents, like media was way different than it would be for like my sister, who's your mother's age. Like, so if you think about it in that way, like your mom's in her 40s, right? Watching this, and
30s.
yeah. Oh, her 30s. Yeah. Her 30s. Yeah. God, that's so crazy. And see, my parents were all about like retiring, by the time I'm coming up.
Did they have
But
like
as
an
it did,
NCIS phase, or was it just like they just?
yes, they did.
Okay, yeah.
They loved it. They're like,
CSI.
yeah, like the crime scene stuff. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, they don't really do that. Or they had like you know what? Now I think about it, there were like those shows like Days of Our Lives. You remember that?
Oh,
These are the days of our lives. And it's like
do you remember Guiding
a
Light?
novella. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nana.
What was the one with Michael Landon? And he's like an angel.
Wait, is Michael Landon the one from Stranger Things?
No, he's the one from no, he's probably long dead, but he did God, what was that one with the talking car? Kit?
Driving. I don't fucking know.
No, you don't. You were gonna say Driving Miss
Talking
Daisy.
car.
Yeah, you don't remember this? Oh my God, what was the name of that show?
I don't at all.
Oh my God, yeah. And then like Andy Griffith, we watched a bunch of that.
We watched
like
that too when I was really little. And we watched the Dick Van Dyke Show. Like my mom is probably watching the Dick Van Dyke Show tonight.
How funny. So like this episode we're talking about, episode 5, I thought it was kind of funny that they all were like sitting around a boombox that's on like the dining room table or the living room table, the coffee table, and they're all waiting for the song to come on. And I'm like, God, I totally forgot that though. People had like boomboxes and like Walkman and stuff like that, you know? Like, did you
Yeah,
have a
that's
Walkman growing up?
I had a Walkman and we had a radio. Like me and my sister, I think, like shared a radio.
Right.
Shared-
Isn't that funny? Like, you can't get that quiet anymore. Like, you can't get it anywhere. It's hard to find it. Or, there's so much of it going on, you know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. What else did they have in this? There's a lot of hanging out in the garage. That's like a big thing. That's like a big
The
thing
garage
for my brothers and
has become a
sisters.
bigger
Yeah, it's kind of, and then like the scene in the garage looks like my brother's garages, you know, with their like wrenching on shit. Like there's like used paint cans sitting around and like, remember we were talking about that before, all the detail that's in the show. Like,
thing.
it's just really interesting. And it feels like I said, like somebody you know. And for me, that would be like my brothers and sisters, but not my parents. That's what's so interesting about it, you know? Because like right now in my life, I
Because
can't talk to my parents about it. They're already what? Yeah, old as dirt, you know? So, really. And they can't, and they were tired. They were probably tired trying to raise kids, you know? So they're like, whatever, here's some cable. So, you know, here's your new parent. It's this TV. It's like, sweet, man. High def.
Yeah.
But that's not totally fair because, I mean, my mom was around, you know, and she'd like make meals and tell stories and stuff, but it was a different
Yeah, I could
kind of
imagine
air.
because she already did it. She already did like the little kid thing for so long.
In fact, for like the first, so like on like Saturdays and Sundays, everybody would definitely Sundays. Everybody would come over after church, roughly around. And they come around noon, right? And they come from like Maryland and Virginia, and they come over, and there'd be like 30 people in that house. Neighborhood people. We knew everybody in the neighborhood. You know, all the kids from the neighborhood, all the just everybody, all my brother's friends and stuff, all my other brothers, and like my older sister, her friends coming in from the neighborhood. You know, we knew the neighbors real well. Everybody would come over and have like a meal. Everybody talk, you know, there'd be like a priest there or something from church and like whatever. It's fun, right? When we moved back, there's only 3 of us in the house and my parents. And I remember for like the first 3 years, my mom would make like spaghetti, but she'd make enough for like, you know, like 40 people. And she'd be like, shit. So we'd have like leftover spaghetti for like, you know, like a week or whatever, because you'd have to eat the leftovers because she couldn't drop out that portion, you know, like this is how I make spaghetti. You get 6 boxes of spaghetti and you throw it in, you know, you don't do that now. Like, you know, have you ever like made too much spaghetti and you're just like, crap, now I gotta like throw it away or put it in a Tupperware, you know?
Yeah.
And so for her, it was really hard to do. And it had a different kind of feel to it. But I hung out at my friends' houses a lot, you know? I went over there and hung out there, and their parents were like your parents' age, you know? So which is just very odd to have parents that are old, you know? So
Yeah.
But I get it now, you know? Like, you know, I meet people and they're like, I'm 46, and they're like, do you want any more kids? I'm like, no, dude, I'm gonna be like 100 by the time they're like 18. No way. Like, that's super unfair. Like, you know, and if my parents had thought like that, I would have been born to them. So, you know, like, I probably would have been born at some point, just not to this interesting family. So, but who knows? And
I mean, honestly, who does know? And I feel like it's easier to stay young these days. Like when I listen to Dana Carvey on his
mhm.
podcast, and I guess he's like in his 70s. He says he's almost 80, but I'm always like, is that a joke? Like, literally, you have the energy of someone who's 55. Like, and lovely of a person too. That it's just like, oh my God, can you please adopt me?
Ha! Right? I mean, they are older. God, that's so true.
He's
Like, but in
so
my head, they're very
old.
young.
Me too,
Hmm.
exactly. He's still like, church
And it really is all on like
like
how you look at stuff. If you
traumatized.
let the world make you old or not, you know?
That's what I
Like,
mean, exactly. It's like, it's just it depends on who you are and what you're exposed to and like what you choose, what avenues you choose.
yeah, yeah, it is, huh? But
Yeah.
what else was going on around the 90s that made this show so needed? It really needed to be made.
Yeah, because there was so much I feel like because there was such a slant towards like women have their place still, women are this, they're that, they're not this, they're not that. It was like there was such a need for Roseanne, like in every possible way, to normalize like women and women's experiences and like
Yeah, it's
we're
like
just
almost like
people.
a,
We're funny, we're carefree, we care about things, and we get shit done
hmm she isn't at work though, right?
yeah, she is.
Hmm. At Wellman Plastics, we make
Mm-hmm.
plastics so you don't have to. I don't know what
And
their
she's in the
motto
country.
is. I do
I
wonder what
really
their
don't know. You really don't know much
commercials
about
are
them.
like.
They
No,
don't
it's
really
like
say much. I feel like they
Space
don't
Loose
have to
Rockets.
because I feel like they're just like supplying, you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
probably whatever they're making, they're
Yeah.
plastic parts.
Hmm. Yeah. This one had a cute scene there where they were choosing. First, they're just teasing each other, and then there's like the whole thing where they're like, Jackie's teasing him too much, and then he gets her in the office.
Yeah,
That was really
yep,
cute. And that's when you really see Jackie. She's like, "Oh, I can't fight it anymore. Like, you're right." And really quite charming. She's really fantastic. Like,
yep,
girl crush for sure.
yeah, it is, huh?
She has everything. Yeah.
But what she say when she leaves the office?
Oh man.
It's super funny, and she walks out. And she goes, he
Yeah.
goes, we can't let anybody know. And she walks out. And she goes, hey, Booker gave me his number,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
Booker asked for my
Roseanne.
number.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
now everybody knows. And he's like, crap. So, and he's embarrassed. You know,
Oh my
but
God, it's so good. And that's again what we were talking about. Like women just being people and not having to be a certain way. Like
right.
outrageous.
Hmm.
It's really cute. Even though he is like we were saying, extra as a boss and like rude and shit, it's still there's like
Right.
a
He
balance.
really is.
Yeah.
He's like kind of a bit sleazy too. Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's like trying to fight it.
Right. He's also got like morals and to go with it, you know?
We haven't really seen that yet, yeah, but we like you were saying, we see it like in the next episode more.
No, we haven't seen it yet, but we do. You can kind of tell because he could be a lot more sleazy like that. Mostly balding guy in the break room is talking about, I'm going to show her what a real man looks like. And then I think Roseanne says something like, he's like one of the workers. Roseanne says something like, "Oh, who do you got in mind?" or something like that. Like, just like, "Oh, do you have a friend that you're gonna introduce?" He's like, "Darn it!" and like walks off or whatever. Kind of just these bit
Mm-hmm.
part people. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's insulting her, sort of like he's like teasing her about the
Like getting called out.
yeah, and then just like yeah. teasing and
Mm-hmm.
super silly.
Right, and like making
Silly is
it
better.
like yes, and just making it because laughter is the best medicine. You need it, you know? Yeah, they do, huh? They
And
work.
Don is like, I feel like he's Dan, he's like a pretty good straight man, kind of. Like he's sort of the one who's the straight man, but then he gets so outrageous too, and he'll like blow up. And it was either the first episode or the second episode when he calls himself the drywall master of the universe,
Right.
and he says that like at full volume, basically. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, but they're kind of also yeah, it's got that kind of straight man job though too, as a
Yeah.
like drywall. What an interesting job that's got to be, Like not really, but it's got to be kind of, because you're building people's homes.
And
But
it's always changing. Everything's different every day. There's a lot to be said.
right, different angles, different cuts, and just it's like it's a job you don't think about too much though, like you don't as a
It doesn't require too much brain.
right. You can still drink beer every night and write songs.
Such a good song too. And
It is.
I always forget that it's one of Roseanne's poems. I
It's her
literally
poem.
forgot
Yep.
just watching it like a week
later. Yeah, it's so good. It's
really a wonderful part of the episode.
It's like who actually wrote this? Did he write it? Who knows?
Right. I know. I wanted to know that too. Who actually wrote it? Did Roseanne write it?
Because the other night you played the whole opening theme song for me, and I had never heard it all the way through. And it's a really good song. It's a really good jazz song.
It's
the
right.
saxophone.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's
like, wow, I did not realize it.
I literally just listened to it because while we were setting up, I was listening. I mean, I was watching episode 5 again, and I was like, I literally can't believe how sick this is. This is like sick. Like
this whole, the whole jazz ensemble to it. Yeah, it's good, huh?
It's really good. It's really good. And I feel like it's Blues Traveler who does the version where they put lyrics over it.
Really?
Because apparently he's in an episode in season 8, and it's presented as their friends, like their old friends. So I wonder if like they actually are friends, and it was like a favor, like, hey, could you like lay down this fucking sick song for us? But with lyrics?
Maybe, huh? Or maybe they're just like, hey, you want some work? Do this track for us. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
Like, like we were saying before the other day. What's that?
I was just saying, since he was in season 8, it kind of seemed like maybe.
Yeah, and by then he's fairly famous. He's going full bore with his career at that point, right?
Right.
Like all the people you would meet being on set.
This was a really good episode,
though. Yeah, I like it.
This is like what I want it to be like, really. No holds bar, no pun intended.
No Barr'd. Roseanne Barr. Got it.
She was barred from her own
TV. Check you out. No holds barred. That's a great name.
Yeah. That could be the episode name.
Yeah. No holds barred. Roseanne Barr'd. Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
Oh, Roseanne.
Oh, sarcasm has rolled her back into you, Roseanne.
Really getting good. This little show. This little Roseanne show.
Yeah, it gets better as it goes too.
It does. It does get better. I think that it's good the whole way through. It just changes a lot.
Through all the seasons, huh?
But I do think season 4 and 5 are probably the best. But
you
you
think
haven't seen it that much.
4 and 5 are the best.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
so.
I've seen it all. It's just
It's just
I
been a
saw it
while.
when it was coming out. Yeah, like, and I remembered it because I did like it a lot because we watched it a lot. We'd wait for it to come on.
Yeah. I want to remember more because I'm sure that we too. I do remember waiting for Seinfeld to come on a lot. I think
Yeah, and he started out his shows with like him being on stage, telling jokes. And if you go back even now, you can see his different hairstyles and
oh God, his hair. Oof.
yeah, and like whatever
Not
he was
even-
wearing at the time, suits, and now I think it's
Right.
just jeans and a shirt, you know,
Yeah.
and always like New Balance on or something, like running
Mhm.
shoes
Always.
that are super clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, it's like a anally retentive almost.
He does have a style that he does not really deter from.
Yep, ever. Have you ever seen him live? Like,
Oh my God, no, I would die.
right? I
Mhm.
bet you he's pretty good. Well, I mean, it's because he's so clean and it's all observational comedy.
Yeah,
So
it's just pure delight, you know.
now,
We don't listen
is
to him as much.
Seinfeld based off of Larry David's life?
It's them together. It's like they were like George and Jerry, like a comedian and a writer living in. I mean, George isn't a writer,
Oh, okay.
but they were living in New York. They were friends, and Jerry, just like in the show, got approached to start a show, and
Right.
the same thing happened. He was like, "Yeah, Larry is my writing partner."
Wow. Huh. I just like his comedy. And Kramer. I liked Kramer and George and Elaine and, you know, everybody. All the characters are funny.
Mhm.
And they're all like very believable, you know?
Yeah, it's just funny. I'm laughing because it's just like Seinfeld is like in my blood. It's like for some reason,
Right.
it's like it's literally part of me. Like,
Right.
you know, and there's not that many things that I feel that way about, but Seinfeld is one of them.
Right.
So it's kind of funny to hear someone who like has a more casual but has appreciation for it, but like you know hasn't seen it as much as I have. I'm just
Right. I mean, yours is like you're eating it and breathing it. But like for me, I loved it because he's funny, you know? Like,
yeah,
but not a lot of people like Seinfeld.
You had like a life. You were like doing
Right.
it while it was
Right.
on. I was like a child. I was stuck at home. I was really a kid.
Yeah, you were, huh? God, that's funny.
I was like barely 10 when the finale, you know, I might have
Of
just turned 10.
Seinfeld?
And Roseanne because they both ended in 97.
Oh, they did, yeah, huh?
Mhm.
Wow. You can
I
still watch
remember the end
Seinfeld.
of-
How funny, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Almost-
doing stuff.
Yeah, you were doing stuff.
Who knows what?
I was like in 4th grade.
How funny. Yeah, you're a baby. 4th grade. Is there still anywhere to be on a Saturday night? Not really.
Anymore. Not
No.
really.
Now it's just whatever day you want. Weekends don't even really exist.
Right, exactly.
Old paradigm.
Mm-hmm. The whole new
In the old world. It's a whole brand new world, yeah. Nice.
No before.
Right?
Well, that's a good segue because I was going to ask. I think that it'd be fun to do pop culture plugs, and we can plug our own stuff, but then we can also plug something we're enjoying right now because this is a show that celebrates really good shit. So I'll go first. I will obviously plug Station 11. Yeah, it's a book, but it's a show, and that show is on HBO Max. It might be on Paramount too, because it's also a Paramount show. But yeah, definitely worth watching, guys, if you need something to really get into. I could only recommend that right now. Pretty obsessed with it. Martin, I know you watched it too, but you can do your own plug.
Did it drop?
Yeah, it did, but now you're back.
Okay.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that it keeps dropping like that. No, I don't really have anything to plug because I also watched Jason Station 11 after you told me to, and I binged
Yeah.
it. I binged the crap out of that, and it was really,
And it's like, yeah, all encompassing. It's
it
all
tore
good.
at my heartstrings. I tell everybody about it now, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I was
Exactly.
told to watch, what is the name of the show called? I had it queued earlier. I don't know if I still do. Let's see. Oh, it's called like Where We Are or something like that.
I don't think I've heard of it.
It's a Luca film.
Oh, it's a movie.
No, it's a miniseries. It's on HBO Max, and it's like a coming of age story. So, which I feel Station 11 was a little bit like that too. You know, like
Definitely, for sure.
it's like it has its own kind of coming of age. I've been watching all of The Last of Us, which was good, um,
Mm.
but I think that's over now. I think the first season of The Last of Us is over, but it's nothing like, you know,
Right.
it's nothing like Station 11 at all.
Yeah, there's nothing like that one. I'm so glad I took a chance and watched it on my sister's. Uh,
Yeah, it was so good. I was like, wow. And I've just been telling everybody I can about it, but that's like 5 people that'll listen to me. So
That's a lot. That's a good reach.
it is, I guess. Yep. 6 degrees of separation. Maybe somebody will take it
Exactly.
back to
They'll
their
knock out
country with
someone.
them and then take it back to Nigeria or somewhere. Be
Take
like,
it
you
back
gotta
there,
watch this.
y'all.
There y'all go. Let's watch this. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the show that somebody wanted me to watch before, but I think it's called Who We Are. But yeah, it's coming of age, and no real plug. You
Well,
took
where can
them.
people find you? You have the best Instagram handle of all time.
Yeah, I've actually not been using Instagram as much anymore because I wanted good dreams, and it gave me good because I was doom scrolling all the time. But my handle is usual underscore dust underscore specs. Usual dust specs, like specks of dust. Yeah, I think it's a book. The usual dust specs is a book. So
Is
about
it?
yeah, about ADHD. So
Wow.
it's from a guy with ADHD.
Do you write
Pretty
it?
funny.
Your book?
No, I wish I had. Then I'd be
I just
making
thought
tons
it
of
was,
money.
a riff on Usual Suspects.
It is, yeah. But I think it's hilarious. So, we're always coming up with funny Instagram handles. So, yeah.
Sweet. Thank you so much for being on. This was so much
Yeah,
fun.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll be back and you'll be a friend of the show.
Yep, I will
This is
watch
your formal
more
invitation.
Roseanne. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening.
Good night.
All right, everyone. That was such a good episode. Thanks again to Martin for being on. It's really hard for me not to make a Martin's supermarket joke right now, which is a regional supermarket. If you know it, you know it. But yeah, thank you so much to Martin for being here. That was such a good one. Hopefully have you back on, and I'll have my audio figured out by then, I am sure, and we'll have the power to match your resonant basso profundo, as Rory Gilmore would say. She says it once in season 5 of Gilmore Girls. All right, that was such a good episode. Unfortunately, I had to cut out a lot, because of my audio. So we did jump around a little bit, but I'm just having fun, just trying to figure out how to do all this and experimenting, really. Try to cut out as many pauses and needless things as possible, but I also just was like, I can't do every single one because then it just won't be humans talking. It'll be robots talking, and that's not really as fun. Although that's what everyone's into right now, right? AI, chat, bots. But yeah, for another day, right? For now, we will, I guess, leave it at that. Martin has a podcast that we didn't even talk about, so I will link that in the show notes. And it's great, and you guys should check it out. So I'll put that. And also information if you want to reach out and comment on this episode, or let me know if you want to be a guest or what you want to hear. Yeah. I definitely am looking forward to talking more about all of the things we talked about today, Seinfeld, there's so much there too, and I feel like Seinfeld and Roseanne sort of represent the two parts of me, the New York part. I mean, I didn't live there, but I almost did, because my parents are from there, and then we were brought up in the Midwest as kids. Roseanne is sort of that, Seinfeld's New York, and they're both perfect and theatrical and just delightful in every possible way. So this is more informal, we are going to talk about Roseanne, but there's room for everything else too, I think, because it lends itself to that. So it's just going to be fun. And yeah, I don't know what else there is to say, right? We're just going to have to keep talking and come back for more. But thank you so much for listening. This was so much fun. And we're going to, of course, let a Roseanne theme song lead us out. And this one is really good. So I give it 11 out of 10. And I don't know what Martin gives it, because we didn't have a chance to listen to it. But I would guess it's at least a 10, because this is a good one. All right, so enjoy it. Take care, and until next time, this has been Rosexanadu. Thanks so much for listening. All right, bye everyone.